Scott from SmartKits Australia, and here we go with another DIY explainer. And now DIY explainer series, also forming part of our DIY masterclass series. And today we are explaining steel frame decks and how good they are and fit for purpose and the applications that they can be used in. And in particular, we are looking at this house in Red Hill, Queensland, where the owner wants to deck this whole area that you can see in front of us between his new drop-in container swimming pool and his house. Our steel frame decks are absolutely perfect for this type of application. And you can see here, this is a photo taken from above the balcony of the property. If I just zoom in a little here, you can see the existing deck of the house in the bottom of the screen and the swimming pool in the projection end. Now, this house is a little bit special, projecting further forward towards the top of the screen from the swimming pool. The owner has his own golf putting range down there. I believe he also practices his chip shots from up on this grassed area. So he's going to deck from the house to the swimming pool, and then from the swimming pool to the putting area. This is going to be a pretty impressive deck. Talking about 100 square meters all up. Steel frame decking with composite deck on top of it. Steel frame deck system, composite decking. Our end connector brackets, where all of our beams connect, are a zinc aluminum product. All of our materials in our steel frame deck kits are either galvanized or zinc aluminum. And in this section here, you can see we are creating an assembly that's called a pole plate. Pole plate. This is an attachment that goes on a fixed structural location for beams to span out from. And these end connectors and brackets are being assembled now for those beams to connect into. Obviously, all of our materials come boxed up, ready for installation. We call them smart parts to go with our smart kits because they make life easy when it comes to building these kind of projects, just like a Meccano set. This is a post cap, and you can see the considerable amount of steel and fabrication that went into this item alone. This cap sits on top of your steel post, and then your beam sits into that notched section. And you can see how that connects onto a beam and sits in there supporting that. This is a post base plate. So the post is screwed through these two little holes there into this foot, into the plate, and sits into the concrete footings. Obviously, our decks come with all the screws, fasteners, fixings, bolts, the whole lot. Making life a lot simpler and easier. No trips to Bunnings here. It's all there in the box. And the boys on site here digging holes for this fantastic deck. Because this deck is going to have posts in a supported and raised section of the yard. Queensland's quite a tiered place in this part of Brisbane. So the existing ground's been retained there, and we're digging some pretty deep holes into the ground there for these posts. All of our decks come with recommended footing sizes, so you don't have to guesswork it. We're going to let you know exactly what you need. And look at that. Magnificent, long, straight, clean lines. Our steel frame decks come with 100% Australian-made BlueScope steel zinc aluminum steel beams. Looking down into a hole. String lines, obviously every builder's best friend, and to get our line correct, we've got a string line here running down from the swimming pool down towards the little chippy putting range down there. You can see our posts on either side of the wall there as well. Our holes on either side of the wall. Holes in. Boys getting ready to start putting some steel in there. And every tradesman has a mission essential item. Smoko time wouldn't be right without the Tabasco sauce. We can thank young Timmy for that one, who keeps a bottle in his toolkit. Wouldn't go anywhere without it. You can see Mick here, and Mick is marking the bracket locations on the pole plate and calculating that those brackets need to be every 4 on this deck. Because of the size of the deck, those brackets need to be every 423 millimeters apart. And so Mick is going along and marking those locations now on the pole plate, ready to put the brackets on. And we can see one of our post assemblies here that has been bolted into the beam next to the swimming pool, sitting on top of the concrete slab. And that is an SHS, or square hollow section post, with our post cap on top of it, and our bolt assembly holding that bracket top to the beam. And you can also see our corner connector here holding our beam intersection together, and that corner assembly is one whole piece on 2 sides of that beam corner, so it makes everything much more straightforward. And great to see some beams in place. We've got bearers and joists starting to go in here. So bearers are our beams that have these connector brackets on them, and you can see our post assembly supporting that bearer. You can see timber that we've used to prop up the deck into location. And we generally, with our installation guide, what we recommend is just propping everything in place first before you put any concrete in. So build the frame of the deck, build the perimeter, hang the posts in the holes, and just prop it all into place, and then use a spirit level, run around, make sure it's all level before you put the concrete in the ground. And that is going to make sure that you get a perfect deck every time. We do see people that decide to put the posts in first, and certainly as tradesmen, we all learnt that way to do it as well. But for the home DIY person, we strongly suggest just build the frame, prop it in place, hold it all up, and then concrete in. Now, in some of the previous slides, I showed you that Mick was putting that pole plate together on the pole plate together for the joist to run into, and you can see that pole plate here that's been fixed with masonry anchors into the concrete frame that's supporting the concrete bases supporting the swimming pool, and our beams are running from those connectors. I'm not kidding you when I say that our smart parts and connector system makes these type of decks very straightforward to build. Simple system. Yes, you do have to drill holes. Yes, you still have to mark out your bracket locations. This is simple math. It's fully explained in our installation guides. It's not overly complicated. Decks are one of the most expensive home improvement projects you can take on, and if you've had any tradesmen quote it for you, you'll know that you can be talking up to $1,000 a square meter for a deck frame supplied and installed with a composite decking on it. Well, with our system here, you can get that price much closer to $300, $350 a square meter, which is a much more reasonable price. Great photo. Post hanging in the hole, ready for concrete. Beam or bearer showing 2 brackets, one either side, ready for joists to go into there. Perfect. Looking good here. Frame under construction, and certainly this deck frame will be getting some joists installed in the next week, and then composite decking fitted to it, and we'll be showing you some videos of that once it's done as well. Lovely old home in Red Hill, Queensland. Big deck system. This one's going to be a game changer for this house, and we've really enjoyed being a part of this project. Supplied by SmartKits Australia, installed by our recommended installation crew in Brisbane, Queensland, which is Queensland Home Improvements. Great company, great bunch of tradesmen, and we've been working with them for many, many, many years. And all those materials, 100% Australian-made blue scope colour-bond steel, 20-year warranty, fit for purpose, supporting Australian jobs and industry. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This one's been a bit of a heads up on our steel deck frames. We'll be putting some more videos together shortly of the finished product. And we'll see you then. Have a great day.